Okay, we're live now. 3, 2, 1. That wasn't the one, but welcome, guys. This is Buddy Smooth Crypto. We have another episode today, a live technical analysis on Litecoin, ADA, Cardano, and Dogecoin. So I'm going to hand it over to Crypto King, and he'll take it from here. Go ahead, Crypto King.
All right, so the first one we're going to start with is LTC. We're here, Litecoin paired with the US dollar on the monthly time frame. Data coming from Coinbase, of course. So we're here on the monthly time frame because of the date. We're only, 1 week into October. It's October 7th today that we're recording. It's 7:30 at night. So, the weekly time frame really just opened, but more importantly, September just closed. So let's zoom in and just take a look and see what the candle looked like. So it really looks like an inverted hammer, if you would want to call it that. It doesn't look bad, just a lot of indecision. Price came back up to challenge these, if you want to call them highs, challenge the $68 level, and we got rejected down. Price came down to about $49, found a little support, but you could see exactly where we opened and where we closed is a very tight, indecisive, level, indecisive candle, I should say, candle body. And then now we're in October, so let's see where October is going to take us, hopefully to some newer highs. And we don't retest this bottom trend line here. If I zoom out, you could see this trend line was tested back here on March 2020, and then retested again here June 2022. So it's about almost a full 2-year trend line to the downside. So I would expect that to fully hold if we do end up coming down to about the $44 range, maybe wick through it a little bit before bouncing off of it. And then for the overhead trend line, we have the 2 touch points up top, which was from our all-time high, or our most recent all-time high of May of this year, May of 2021. Second touch point here, November 2021, and we really haven't touched it since then. So if we do start moving to the upside for Litecoin, I would look for the $85, $86 level to be a large level of resistance before potentially going to the 236 level at 103, which would be really, we would wick right through there and potentially close below the trend line. But you see our upside targets here. This red box is our box of resistance that's been drawn from a very long time ago, many years ago, starting in 2017, retesting it as support in 2018, retesting as resistance in 2019, before we finally blew above it here in December 2020. And now I just expect us to retest that at some point around $125 to $126 level. I fully expect that to come through relatively soon. I mean, one thing too, I know we don't just zoom out and look, but I mean, just look at this chart. Look at these highs. Look at the highs here, these high levels, these levels of support where we bounced, created some highs as well. Just look where we're at right now. We have some lows way back when. We have some other lows from 2018, some lows from 2020, all throughout 2020 before we just exploded. Here, lows explode, lows explode, lows explode, lows explode, and this could potentially be our lows. And what are they doing every time? From this low to this low, this is a higher low. From this low to these lows, it's relatively higher. It's still a higher low. And then where we are currently, it's a higher low than where we were in the past, our previous lows. So Litecoin looks amazing. Everything about Litecoin looks good. And again, please remember we're on the monthly time frame. So this analysis on the monthly time frame takes a long time to play out. So let's go down to the weekly time frame on Litecoin and see what it looks like. Let's adjust the charts a little bit.
It might not look like anything's happening, really.
Exactly. It's just consolidation, just sideways consolidation. Even on the weekly time frame, I'm surprised that especially a coin like Litecoin went sideways for so long. But if you look back here, what happened when we went sideways for so long? We blew up, came down and retested it, went sideways again before going absolutely parabolic. And really, I mean, this movement, a breakout and a retest of the red resistance level, that's exactly what I'm looking to happen almost identically to where we are right now. Almost an identical movement of, like, just imagine this level here of us coming up, hitting this as resistance, wicking up to the 236, retesting it before bouncing up to the 61.8, retesting the red, just like we did here. We rallied up, got a little rejection, went sideways, got above the red resistance box, retested it before just straight mooning. You know what I mean? So Litecoin looks amazing to me. I mean, I can't see anything wrong with Litecoin. Really not very much but upside. There's a really relatively low downside for Litecoin, just like many alts as well.
Yeah. Everything looks like it's just holding where it's at. It's not going lower or higher. So this is a very decisive time for crypto.
I do like AMP, though, to shout out AMP.
Oh, yes.
Up a little over 1% the past 24 hours.
Let's go.
Holding relatively strong. So now, go ahead.
Full disclosure, we hold big bags of AMP.
Oh, yes, sir. So next one we're going to look at is Cardano, which I literally just added right before the stream. So I've done analysis on Cardano many years ago.
Fairly fresh take on it right now.
Exactly. So let's look at Cardano Cardano paired with the US dollar, monthly time frame, data coming from Coinbase. So on the monthly time frame right here, I mean, we've done nothing but just go down since when is this? Since September 2021, we've done literally nothing but just go downwards. What I'm looking at here are the bottom of these wicks from March 21 to July 21, 2021. And then I'm looking at these two candle bodies and the wicks to the upside. So from here, I'm going to get out the rectangle tool and I'm going to just look at the bottom of this green wick. That's what kind of stands out to me. Click at the bottom of the green wick, slide it out. And now I'm looking at this wick here, January 2022 of September, excuse me. And I'm just dragging it out and I'm looking at those two wicks. So for the green candle body here, April 2021, I'm looking at the bottom of the green wick, which you could see the dotted line just over it, the bottom of this green wick. And then I'm looking at the bottom of this red wick here from January. Oh, that's a Saturday down there. That's throwing me off. January of 2022. And then I just expanded it, and I'll expand this to the left here as well, if it lets me do it. Go back up and touch that wick. Okay, so those are our two touch points. I would call that a relatively large level of support in the past. It's a little bit of support here before we melted through it. Little rejection up there on the May 2022. And really, next movement I would expect to be around the bottom of this red box of about 90 cents. Really, to draw this is where you would want to draw Fibonacci, but really you're just going from your all-time high, and after how long has it been? Oh, I guess it's only been a little over a year, so we will draw our Fibonacci from this red candle here, September 2021. We're going from the top of that wick all the way down to our swing lows. I'm going to line it up. So it looks like this wick here on May 2022, that's going to be our bottom point. Let me line that up the best that I can. So we'll call it there. Let me put it a little closer, actually. Okay, lock it into place. And this is our overall, so I like this one to be yellow. Okay, so from here, I mean, it doesn't look perfect. Let's see what it looks like on the weekly time frame. But on the monthly time frame, really, that's all we're going to do. We have our red box that has been historic levels of support, and I could see it in the future being historic levels of resistance, unless Cardano just absolutely moons. So let's go down to the weekly time frame, and this is when we could add in possibly a Fibonacci extension from this swing high to the same swing low. We could add in a trend line. We could add in some counter trend lines, things like that. But really, it looks like this wick right here needs to be filled. But if you want to be more precise, I would even say these little wicks here. But I mean, we really have that red box right there. So now let's just take a look at the red box of current resistance that I drew. So see how it looks here. Just tap, tap, tapped. Came here. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that for current resistance. Now let's add a trend line. Let's just play around with it. Let's grab our trend line tool. Let's start from maybe this one. First touch point is here on January 17th, 2022. Second touch point, let's have this red candle on April 4th, 2022, and just expand it out and see how it looks. So, I mean, we would have already have broken above it and now retesting it, but that doesn't look like a true break, to be honest with you. So let's move that first touch point to here, which is November 8th, 2021. And our second touch point, nothing was really lining up for us on Cardano for trend lines. It's showing that we've already broke out of it. So it looks like Cardano, we might. So this is analysis that I do on occasion. I'll just share it with you. I didn't really plan on sharing it right now, but you could kind of assume where a pump will occur. So say from current price, again, we're on the weekly time frame. Say we do come up to this red box, and that would put our second touch point, if you could just imagine it right here, right?
Yeah.
So we have our first touch point here. We would have our second touch point right around here, maybe the bottom of the red box, and then just extend it out from there. And then if you're playing longs and shorts, you could just play it all the way down like that. So if I had to assume, I would say relatively soon, Cardano's going to make a move up to either this red box, this 236 level of the fib, so we could get a second valid touch point for a trend line coming from the November 8th, 2021. But really, Cardano right now, you could make trend lines work, don't get me wrong, but I just don't like to force the trend lines necessarily. So Cardano looks good. And again, weekly time frame up here, and just look at it. What would any sane person do right now? Right? You have the highs here, you have highs here. Even compared to where we are right now, these are highs. These are highs. This is a high. So there's nothing but upside potential for Cardano. From current price to the bottom of the red box is 121% gains.
That's double right there.
It's a little over double.
Yeah, a little over double.
From current price up to the 61.8 is 385% gains. So, I mean, there's so much upside potential with very minimal downside potential on Cardano. Especially Cardano has a loyal following behind it.
Yes, it's, I mean, it's kind of like half meme coin and half just, I don't know if there's a tag used for it, but it's very popular.
Yeah, oh yeah, Cardano's
and I know, but I know it has a use. I know it does, right?
Yeah, Cardano's a super fan favorite.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, Cardano's good. We'll definitely save that and go back to it on the chart. And now the last coin we're going to look at for this stream is Dogecoin.
This is definitely a meme coin. Okay, guys? Yeah. This is just fun and games right here, all right?
Yeah, this hurts me to almost look at. So Dogecoin, since it hasn't been on Coinbase for too long, we'll stay on the weekly time frame. We will draw our Fibonacci from, we'll do it from these highs, which I'm looking at the red wick, August 16th, 2021. Just go off to the side so I could get the top precisely. Drag it down to the lows, and it looks like it's this red wick here, June 13th, 2022. And let's just expand it out. Trying to line it up the best that I can, lock it into place. And I mean, you just see Doge so fluently going between the fibs, getting rejections, finding some as support. And that's what we're doing right now, is finding the bottom level as support. But Doge as well, it looks like there's a lot of trend lines on Doge. We could do one from this green to this second touch point here, April 25th, 2022, and just expand it out. I don't really like the way that looks. Doge is another tough one then. Let's do our first touch point from this red wick then here on November 8th, 2021. Second touch point we could do here. So again, the same touch point.
So before you go on,
Yeah.
So what I'm noticing is that you don't want it to. You don't want the trend line to be touching the most recent wick.
So if you look, so
Like
what
I mean, like not the most recent. The wick as of now, even if it starts, seems like it will line up, right?
I mean, somewhat.
Okay.
But look what I'm talking about. So we have our first touch point here, and our second touch point I'm drawing here.
Got it.
When I expand it out, we're already outside of the trend line.
I
So
see.
that would be considered a breakout.
Oh, I
When
see.
you see this, that is not. We have to zoom in to even see that little nub. That's not a breakout. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So a breakout would be. Let me see if I could give you an example. I guess price really hasn't moved, so we have not had a breakout. I mean, this would probably be the most valid trend line for Doge as of now. First touch point is here, January 10th, 2022. Second touch point lines up with April 4th, 2022. Third touch point lines up with April 25th, 2022. And then it just expanded it out. And you see it gives us room to still have the trend line as resistance. So Doge again is another coin where, I mean, you just need to be patient with everything else. Like how much lower? I know Doge could still go a lot lower because they just mint as many coins as humanly possible. But really, I mean, look at these highs. Where were we? 35 cents in, when was this? August 16th last year. I mean, though, now these gains are going to be absolutely insane. From current levels back up to the 35 cent level, 500% gains.
Oh,
To the 78.6, 385% gains. The 61.8, pretty much 300% gains. Yeah, 300%. To the 236, even for a small movement in Doge, that's 104%. That's absolutely crazy, man. Crazy. So, I mean, just have confidence in knowing if you're buying now and dollar cost averaging, these are amazing times.
and let's put it into perspective as well. You know, we're into AMP, and that actually has a use case
Right.
in the real life world. They're actually doing something with it, right?
Yeah, with the payments,
And
payment
Doge,
process.
yeah, it's a collateral for payment processing. But look at Doge, literally no function whatsoever. They're trying to create functions for it, but it didn't originally start out like that.
Exactly.
But look at how much money people are getting out of this coin,
Oh, yeah.
out of just a meme coin. So just think about a legit coin with a real juice. How much money you can make out of that, even if you look out longer into the future as well.
Exactly. I completely agree.
Well, okay, so that's pretty much it, huh?
That's it.
That's it. All right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in on this live stream of this live technical analysis. We'll be back with another live stream, but this one will just be, I'll be asking Crypto Poppy some questions. So
Yes, sir.
stay tuned, guys. We'll be back.